Hey everyone, and welcome! Today we're going to tackle something super useful, how to talk about your day in English. Let's get right into it. So, has this ever happened to you? Someone asks, hey, what did you do today? And your mind just goes blank. You know what you did, but finding the right English words feels like a huge challenge. Well, don't worry, it's super common, and we're going to fix that today. And here's the thing, you've already got the story. I mean, it's your day, right? All you need are the right words to tell it. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Build up that vocabulary piece by piece.
So where do we start? Well, the most logical place is the beginning of the day. Let's talk about that first meal, breakfast.
Okay, first things first, let's learn a really useful word. Picture this. You wake up late on a weekend. It feels too late for breakfast, but it's not quite lunchtime yet. What do you call that meal? That, my friends, is brunch.
Yeah, so brunch kind of bridges that gap. You'll usually have it later in the morning, say around 11 a.m. And because it's basically breakfast and lunch rolled into one, it tends to be a bigger, more relaxed meal.
All right, now for the fun part, the food itself. You know, being able to describe what you ate is a fantastic way to make your story more vivid. So let's start with an absolute breakfast staple, eggs.
So, how do you like your eggs? There are 3 really common ways to prepare them. You've got scrambled, where you mix them all up before you cook them. Then there are boiled eggs, which you cook right in the shell. If you cook it for just a little bit, you get a soft boiled egg with that lovely runny yolk. Cook it longer and you get a hard-boiled egg where the inside is completely solid.
But hey, breakfast is way more than just eggs, right? Of course it is. You might be in the mood for some buttermilk pancakes. They're made with buttermilk, which gives them this really rich, kind of creamy taste. Or maybe you're more of a cereal person. And then there's muesli, which is that yummy mix of grains, nuts, and dried fruit.
And you can't have pancakes without, what? Syrup, of course. It's that sweet, thick, sugary liquid you pour all over them. The classic, as you probably know, is maple syrup, which comes straight from maple trees.
Okay, so imagine your friend makes you this incredible breakfast. We're talking eggs, pancakes, and French toast. The works. A perfect thing to say in that moment is, wow, you really went all out.
So what does that mean to go all out? It's a fantastic expression. It just means you put in a ton of effort, way more than anyone expected. It really shows that you put your heart into something.
Let's learn one more great action word you might use in the morning. Squeeze. Think about making fresh orange juice. What do? You squeeze the orange. You hold it tight, you tighten your hand, and out comes the juice. Same idea for getting toothpaste out of a tube. You squeeze it.
Okay, we've totally nailed breakfast. Now let's zoom out and look at the rest of the day. With just a few simple phrases, you can easily build a story that takes us all the way from morning to night.
So let's talk about the morning routine. You could just say, I wake up, and that's fine. But to add more detail, you could say something like, I stay in bed for a few minutes before getting up. Then you can just list your actions. I brush my teeth, I wash my face, I get dressed. See? Each little sentence adds another brush stroke to the painting of your day.
Then we move into the afternoon. This is when things often get busy, right? So you could say, after lunch, I go back to work. What do? I check my emails, or I have a couple of meetings. And pretty much everyone needs a little pick-me-up in the afternoon. So you might take a short break around 3 o'clock. Maybe you have a snack or grab a cup of tea. And maybe you even squeeze in a little time to study some English. And finally, we get to the evening when it's time to wind down. You might say, I usually get home from work around 6. And then, what's next? Maybe you cook dinner. Or, if it's been a long day, you order in. Perhaps you eat with your family and catch up. After that, you might clean up the kitchen. And then it's finally time to relax. Do you watch TV? Read a book? All these little details are what bring your story to life, all the way until you go to bed.
Okay, so we've got the vocabulary for food, and we've got a simple structure for the day. Now it's time to put all those pieces together so you can tell your story and do it with confidence.
So let's quickly recap the most important things to remember. First, start your story with your morning meal. Use those specific food words we learned, like scrambled or muesli. Second, break your day down into 3 simple parts: morning, afternoon, and evening. And finally, just use simple, complete sentences. You really don't need to be fancy to be a great storyteller.
All right, now the spotlight is on you. It's time to practice.
Just take a second and think about your day-to-day. Can you come up with just one sentence to describe something you did? Go ahead, try saying it out loud right now. Seriously, the more you practice, the more natural it's going to feel. Just keep at it, and you'll be telling your story like a pro before you know it.